Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question tonight. Why is Liam Spencer so hated on The Bold and the Beautiful? I haven't been watching the show that long. He's been annoying, yes, but there's just people that just flat out can't stand him. And I want to know what you thought. I want to know what your thoughts are. Why do some people dislike him so much? Let me know in the comment section. Also, Mia is joining GH for Haley. I couldn't put in a whole description because reasons, but yeah. So she's gonna be slightly replacing Haley for Molly for a little bit while she recovers. If you saw my short, you know my feelings about Haley P that I'm not even gonna bother to pronounce. But you know my thoughts are on that. Black Mind's in the chat. What's good, Black Mind? Thank you for joining. Latasha's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon. So James wound up doing a video today, right? Did he talk about the whole Haley P situation, the whole DUI thing? Because I know he did daytime today, but I want to know if he actually talked about it. Because I kind of want to know. I want to know what his thoughts was. Well, I guess I'm gonna need a refill tomorrow, so that's gonna be all sorts of fun. Makai's in the chat. What's good, Makai? Oh, Laura B is in the chat. How you doing, Laura B? Makai say, Albert, I saw your live. You was on one. What do you mean by that? I was on one. I'm not understanding. Makai's in the chat. Now let me ask you a question. Is it Makai or is it? I think James pronounced your name differently. Darby's in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Ariana's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Hope you had a great day. Natasha said Miss Wu's doing too much. I don't think she's doing enough. But I want to get back to the other question. Natasha, you said I saw your live. What? CW's in the chat. Greetings and salutations, my friend. Now, Lord B said, I'm shocked to hear about Haley. I heard it was an accident. I had no idea she was under the influence. I didn't know that either. I woke up in the morning and I went on Instagram and they talked about, well, the headline just says she's going to be replaced. People in the chat were like, some people were going in on her, and some people were defending her like there was no tomorrow. Blackman says, I'm doing good. He talked about the daytime is being canceled, and Candace Mack was on there, so I didn't hear about it. Jay Blue's in the chat. What's good, Jay Blue? All right, hold on. Let me get my drink. Let me get my drink. Latasha say you're yeah, I couldn't help it with days. I couldn't help it. I was so like, what the hell? Besides, Colin's been pissing me off, so if I don't get a good laugh, it's CW says I saw your video on Haley. Okay. Let me have my drink. Hey, hold on. Spikewick says I thought you were harsh on Haley, but when I found out about the hit and run, weed, tequila, then I changed my. Okay, cool. Go, yeah. Oh, I can put my drink down. Thank you, Spikewick. And says my day was great considering the content. Like, are you gonna? I'm glad you had a good day. Autumn says, hey, Albert, I disliked it because he is a sissy and a hypocrite. Oh, Miss Wu doing too. She's like an octopus, got her hands in every business, and is I was Curtis. I was cut ties with her ASAP. Oh, it's too late for that. It is we're way past the point of cutting ties with Miss Wu. I see we're gonna go slow again. Ron is in the chat. What's good, Ron? How you doing tonight, Ron? Because I will continue to call me by what you come to know. I mean, you're good. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Thank you, my guy. You are awesome. Queen Nikisha is in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to the Queen. Spy Quick says I don't want her fired, but she needs to be forced or focused. Randall was in the chat. Randall said Liam is frustrating because he looks great, but always whines about Thomas whenever you see him. Yeah, he's been doing that like for a hot minute. He's been doing that for a hot minute. How you been, Randall? It's actually good to see you again. Gemini's in the chat. What's good, Gemini? Spy Quick says Haley needs to be fired and go to rehab, then maybe get her job back. Um, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not up for people just losing their jobs. Okay, I'm not up for just canceling people and being like, hey, you should lose your job because I kind of figured that wrong. Seeing Sheila still in her cage. But here's my whole thing about that. When it comes to Haley and the whole DUI thing, let's be honest, this is probably not her first time doing it. And I feel like the people that is there saying that she made a mistake, she's very young, they're enabling her. What I don't want to see is her going back to her job Monday morning like nothing ever happened. Because what does that say? Tamara's in the chat. What's good, Tamara? Thank you for joining tonight. How are you doing tonight? Randall says I was watching your days recap and saw you were going live. So I rushed. Well, Randall, it is actually really great to see you. I've seen you. I see you in the comment section or sometimes in live stream. So it's really good to see you again. Also, I'm having some leftovers of pot pie. I'm not endorsing pot pie. Okay, I'm not sponsored by them, but um, I don't want my food. I don't like wasting food. So even if it's cold, and it's kind of cold now. Grams TV's in the chat. Was good, Grams? Also, sorry for talking my muffle. And Mr. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Spikework says I think she should take a few months off. I mean, no thing. Listen, if she gets better, she has to go through the work. You know, I don't know. I just the problem with that Spikework is that in a perfect world, if she went through all the work, she went through the rehab and everything like that. Thank you, Lord. But yes, hit that like button right off the bat. Beat that like button's ass. It really does help. We are the number one soap opera live stream chat, and wouldn't have any other way. We don't have Popeyes mustard. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Lobby say yes. I'm same way. Albert, no waiting pool. Yeah, Darby said Haley does need to be fired because the person who she hurt badly needs to be compensated, and then if she can be fired, yes, no, yeah, no, definitely pay her her money. Pay her her money. This chick was literally driving on the wrong side of the highway. Like, what the hell? Autumn says, if I was somebody close to Liam and he was whining to me about Thomas, I would tell him to shut the F up. I'm surprised why it hasn't. Autumn, I feel the same way. I'm like, how many times do they actually have business meetings? Dude doesn't show up. When he's there, he's not there. He's constantly sitting there whining about Thomas and just. I'm sorry. I know I'm actually kind of pigging out tonight, but I don't want this food to go to waste. And my last review kind of put me behind a little bit. Ron says Albert for Nicole having a healthy baby because she has difficulty carrying a child for the term. But please don't want a whole baby die storyline. Oh yeah, no, I know what you meant a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm not about wasting. Especially, well, I'm not about wasting in general. And Popeyes is was Popeyes. Latasha said Porsche have a seat. Yeah, listen. When I actually had to sit there and defend, when I had to sit there and defend Spencer, you know there's a problem. Okay, I think at this point everyone in the chat knows how I feel about Spencer. Mikhail says I think Nate and Audra should about to team up and make a power play. Should about what makes you think that? Honestly, tell you the truth, Mikhail, it looked like Nate was definitely not happy with Audra today. Definitely not happy about her. The Havlins in the chat, how you doing tonight? And Darby said, why is a part of Liam's dysfunctional behavior because he's enabling Liam. I guess you're right. He doesn't actually put his foot down. Well, to be fair, Steffi's also kind of enabling him as well. So Reno said, I don't watch series, but I remember Portia from Passions. All right. So, Randall, I'm assuming you watched Days of Our Lives, right? What did you think of the episode today? Definitely said, Albert, did you hear that Scott is out of GH? What? Again? I heard there was rumors around that, right? So what Scotty, I mean the Kim Schreiner was not there saying that he's been written out. Is that it? He's been written out? But you remember her from Passions, okay. The amazing, lovely Janet is in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to Janet. Being dead ass is, so let's everyone say what's up to Janet. Big Nate's in the chat. It was a mix. I think from all the other, I think except for B and B. B and B was actually the only one that was just like, eh. Well, all the other ones was actually pretty good though. Danny's in the chat. What's good, Danny? Now, Autumn says, I love Spencer, if though he can be pretentious dick, but he's a good person regardless. He is not like the rest of the crazy family. The rest of the family is trash. Randall said, Days was alright, but May sweeps. I need more action and more resolution. From what I heard, they're gonna actually gonna wrap it up this week though. Well, hopefully between this and next week, they're gonna wrap it up though. So I'm just, I'm done with Talia. I am. Was always great. It's kind of a, for the most part, yeah. For the most part, yeah. Even though there's certain things I'm not a huge fan of, for the most part. Nate says he hasn't said anything since releasing the tweet. Yeah, I heard James was talking about it today, which I don't know if Black Mind's still in the chat or if anyone's in this chat that saw James' video. Because I want to hear his thoughts on the whole Haley DUI thing. And I know Candace back, but they didn't talk. Did they actually talk about that? Did they actually talk about that? Latasha says, I'm glad Esme can work and take Ace to work with her. Yeah, I mean, me too. I just sat there and looked at Esme like, she's leaving the house. I'm like, where are you going? Like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to leave and go where? With what money? You don't have access to your trust fund. And I had the audacity to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to be answering phones? Yo, listen, I was so glad Alexis humbled her little ass so fast. Davlin said, yeah, so Dirk confirmed that he's out in another blogger, Busybody. Oh, yeah, Busybody, that's her name? Berman confirmed that he's out. That's her name, right? Busybody? I forgot about, well, until you said something, I kind of forgot about her. Natasha Watras says, fire Rafe, he's a good detective. Natasha, you know what's even worse than him telling her telling Abe to fire Rafe? To put loudmouth Paulina in charge. Like, what the? Yeah, let's have Paulina be the chief of police. Darby says I like Scott and would miss him terribly. I always sit there and say this. Scott reminds me of my dad so much. Just his mannerisms and the way he acts. Um, yeah, Randall said Colin is a Dollar Tree. Yes, without all the charm and everything that just makes him cool. He is. But here's the thing, Randall. Yeah, he's not a good character, right? But I can't. I can't with Alia. Nate says the recast of Molly may be permanent because it's just sad all around. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'll be okay with that because we're not just going to sit there and just let this fly under the sun or act like it just wasn't a big deal. Ron says Albert Phoenix didn't do any videos this week. Yeah, I mean, I understand it's not easy. Here's the thing: it's not easy what he does. It's not easy what any of us does. But Riley says I knew Esme would want to leave. Hey, Albert, was there Valley? Yeah, I mean, I knew she wanted to leave, but I'm like, where's her dumbass going now? She got no money, no prospects, no trust fund. What is she planning on doing? Nate says Baby Ace was crying for Esme. He wasn't crying with Spencer and Trina though. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Esme is her mother. Trina is a stranger, and Spencer is her brother, but that's not her father. Julie is in the chat. What's good, Julie? Thank you for joining. Now, Danny says James said that I remember that part. I remember that part. I want him to be. I want him to be on State of Mind. I want to. Okay, Danny. Since you were in the live stream, I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record. Danny, did James talk about Haley's DUI? These fries are cold as hell. All right, I can't do these fries anymore. I mean, on. Yeah, can't do it. Now, Nikisha says it's great that we're going to have a Molly Christina story with both new. Yeah, but given what she did, it's kind of for the best. It's for the best. It's for the best. But I still got my ramen noodles, even though I don't have my damn hot sauce, because we'll just sit there and say reasons. I think it's time. And Darby says Rafe is a good detective, but if he has some flaws, one would be that he plays favorites with his friends, with his power, and he won't speak the truth to his boss, Abe. He won't tell A when he's wrong. Monique is in the chat. Oh, nice. See, Monique, you're just awesome. You're just awesome. Julie says, I don't think Ken is going anywhere permanently. He always going for drama when his character is benched. All the fans will pressure the show to keep him on, just like they did on Rebecca Hirsch. Latasha said, Lenika said she was drink driving in the wrong side of the road. That's very true. That is very true, Latasha. And she has some edibles in the car. I mean, it's a whole thing. Eagle, what's good, Eagle Fang? Thank you, Albert, for telling me that Christine's still alive today. I'm shocked she has a job, what she did. I am too. I am too. I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. Juan said, I really don't care about GH, but for God's sake, Esme is the baby's mother and have to final say. Nikisha, did I hear you say you had some Popeyes like with vegetables? No. I'm sorry. No, it was all bad stuff. Ouch. It was literally all bad stuff. And tequila. Yeah, don't forget about the tequila. Take a fresh cut. Well, I mean, Lawns is good. Because here's the thing, a fresh take isn't a bad idea, but if it's not good, then yeah. Ariana says I have had a long and successful career as a result of the thoughtless and selfish acts of one human to another, most from drunk driving. Oh, I hope she gets help and appropriate legal actions. I love how this just goes so. Yeah, unfortunately, I hope she gets the help that she needs. Nikki said the TMZ article made it seem like she had a hit and run, then crashed into another car a few miles away. Well, I mean, you saw those photos, right? Tracy Steves in the chat. What's good, Tracy Steves? How you doing tonight? Monique said, will they treat her the same or different from Tyler? Well, what did Tyler do? I mean, I know he was drunk on set, but what did he exactly do though? Like, I mean, unless Tyler was not there crashing people left and right. Yeah, she ran into one. I mean, granted, that was all bad, right? But then she was belligerent to the firefighters that tried to get her out the car, saying, "Don't mess up my $400 shirt." You're saying that to a firefighter and an EMT that's like they're trying to get you out the car, and then was being a terrible, horrible human being to the people who to the hospital staff to the point they had to sedate her. Julie said, "I never really took to Christina, and truthfully, I simply can't." Oh yes, I remember you said that. Yes. Um, Danny says Albert James talked about the Emmys and Meghan Mark. He did not. That's kind of a shame. Well, kind of disappointed about that. Oh, is she? I may have to sneak up in her chat and say what's up. Autumn said apparently Haley was ranting about how her shirt cost $400. Like, girl, no one cares about how much your shirt costs. She could have killed somebody or hurt somebody. She needs to get herself together. This is why I said, this is why I'm Smith is saying that she deserves to be fired. This is exactly why I'm Smith saying she deserves to be fired. Her craptastic, no offense, shitty attitude, on top of the fact that she was just so disrespectful. Now Nikisha, oh no, I gotta choose between the Opera and Candy. That's not Nikisha. I will sit there and say this much. As much as I want you to stay on my live stream, Candace Mack is Candace Mack, and I wouldn't sit there and take offense to it. I wouldn't take offense to it. As much as I love having you in this chat, um, now Latasha said I wouldn't go to Victor's will reading. I said that in my live stream. I was like, you know what? I feel like that would be a trap. I feel like that would be a trap. I do. Uh, Now Monique says I feel bad for her, and at the same time, I don't. She's made a decision to get behind the wheel and drive. Yeah, and that's my whole thing, Monique. In this day and age, where you have so many, where you move your, in this day and age, when you have so much different options of how to get home, so many different services that you can use to get your to get to your destination. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. Like there really isn't. Julie said on the bright side, Polly has a chance to really turn her life around and change the course. Yeah, so no, she does. Julie, she definitely does. But the thing is, Julie, with her attitude and the way she was acting after the crash, time will tell. Then you said feel like GH is going to get a new Molly cast, and I'll be okay with it. Nikisha, I don't know how she's buying $400 shirts when she barely on GH. Must be nice to afford that. She probably has other I'm assuming she has another job. Nikisha, I'm watching you on my phone. I'm grabbing the iPad to listen to Candace too. Well, I appreciate that, Nikisha. I do. I do. Thank you. Latasha says Latasha said we don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole story. I mean, the chick was driving drunk. There's a big ass accident. Like I don't understand what part am I missing? Are we all missing something? If that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about the will reading, then that's something different. So my bad. Um, CW says it's not like she's on all the time. Yeah, no, CW, but CW was also he was also on James. He was also on James live stream today. Because you know what it is? I heard a couple people like Makai was on there, CW was on there, Nikisha was on there, Blackmon was on there. So I remember those names. And with Nikisha, it's like as soon as I hear Nikisha on any chat, it's like I know that there's only one Nikisha. Um, so I don't sit there and be all possessed like, oh, my Nikisha's on there, but it's just like I know she's on there. Yeah, she is lucky that nobody died. Ron says, Albert, I'm voting for Days of Our Lives, the best year. Ring cup. Well, yeah, I mean, whenever it comes back on, whenever they start doing it again. Valerie says, in the story. Yeah, and just to kind of go back to the whole um Spencer thing, I just don't understand. I just don't understand why people dislike. I mean, I get right now he's annoying, but there's people that just straight up dislike Spencer, like no tomorrow. CW says, I wonder what Dodgy thinks about what's going on. Hopefully he can. Oh, TJ, yes. Well, see, that's the thing, CW, and I hate saying this, but we don't know how TJ is in real life. We don't know how he is in real life. That's the thing that's unfortunate. I mean, think about it. I don't know. Mononi says she's been acting since she was a child, and the pressures to deliver every night might have gotten her. But still, no, no, I get that. I get that. I do. I mean, how she got to that point when she started doing all that stuff. You know, I don't walk in her shoes. I'm not going to sit there and try to pretend I understand, but I do understand that there are choices in this world. Anna says, I was rewatching One Tree Hill. Do you remember when Haley slapped the ish out of Rachel and threw the drink? Yes. Autumn, that was my show. That was my show. Oh, that was such a good show. And of course, you can't forget that scene when Nanny Carey was there trying to chase Nathan's son through a cornfield. Because I remember that. Latasha said, "How did Eric put it together about Colin?" Oh, when Sloan was Smith, they're talking about how Colin had a hard time dealing with his parents' death, like a really hard time, and Sloan was so concerned. That's how you put it together. Okay. Julie said the picture of the accident are no joke. Jensen, who was a superstar on another world and played a nerd on Jade from the time, drove drunk, nearly killed a guy, got real jail time, was sued. Julie says, I think Paulus will get sued. She can go ahead and write that down in her diary. Damn. Yeah, it's a shame. Then he says, what do you think about Audrey and Nate? I feel like Audrey's trying to um I think that here's the thing, Danny. I'm surprised she's doing all this to get a man. I'm surprised she's doing all this plotting and scheming and moving people out the way. And I'm like, you doing all of this to get a man? I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure she wants to bump up in the corporate ladder, yes, but still, you doing all this to get a man? Come on, bro. No offense, but I mean, we're worth it. But we're not. We're we're not that worth it. We're not that worth it. Nikki said, I'm 40. I don't drive. I was hit by a car when I was 19. I haven't been able to drive since. I'm too scared. Seeing stuff like that doesn't help my anxiety at all. Nikisha, I hope that my story about the video didn't cause you any sort of discomfort. And I'm sorry to hear that. Eagle Fang says, anyone have any chat happening up there, right? No, he's still in the show. Jess is in the chat. Jess was good. Jess says cars are too much for me with insurance and maintenance anyway. That's right. Let's say what's up to Jess. Let's say what's up to Jess. You know, I kind of want to apologize a little bit yesterday, Jess, because I felt like I was badgering you a little bit too much about your Twitter account, about me Smith there following you on Twitter. And I thought about that when I woke up this morning. I was like, man, how hard was I actually going on that whole thing? I mean, I know I was kind of drunk or tipsy at best, but I felt like when I woke up, I was like, bro, how hard would you sit there asking for her Twitter account? I almost didn't even want to go back and like rewatch me asking over and over and over again because I felt like I was like Batman. I was sitting there like constantly interrogating you. So if I did, I apologize. But yeah, again, Monique says, as a former bartender, I had to cut people off if I felt they had too much. Well, that's the thing, Monique. She might have went to a private party. She might have went to a private party with, all her other friends or Hollywood friends, just kind of, doing it up. It's really sad. I mean, my whole thing is like, bro, you couldn't just out there and call someone, like anyone, you know? Oh, okay. Nah, he's coming back. He will bang. He's coming back. He got to come back and finish up the story. Keisha, yeah, I was young and dumb to get a lawyer. I had a broken collarbone, paid my own hospital bills and everything. Damn, I am really sorry. All right, good, good, good. I don't know. I don't know why. I can't tell if I was over exaggerating this morning when I woke up, or was it just like, I really just like, but good, 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 good. I'm glad to hear that though. Last days in the chat. What's good, last day? Julie said, Liz, I've been so mandatory and sexless since Franco died, and girl is way too pretty to be sidelined like that. How about sit there and say, who is she going out with? She's going out with Finn, right? Double C's in the chat. What's good, Double C? Now, Latasha said Michael Bowen's going to be mad. Kyle told Diane and Jack told Chris after he said, yeah, and that's the thing with the Latasha. I sat there and I was like, yo, as annoyed as I am with Summer Latasha, I totally understood why she went in on Diane. I mean, why she went in on Daniel. Yep, Jess, yeah, we were just talking about it. But here's the thing, Jess. I think Julie said it best. Julie was like, Kim's trying to always gets a little upset or whatever every time his character is benched until they put him back in. So just I don't think he's out, you know. I don't think he's out. I think he's just um, side bench for a little bit. I agree with that, Monique. I do. I agree with that. Nikisha Franco dying was stupid. They put so much work into redeeming him to kill him and keep the actor. And that's true, Nikisha, because I know that the actor wanted to take some time to do some charity work or something like that, but they didn't really actually have to sit there and kill him off, though. Oh, nice. So Candace Matt, Candy Snap. Okay, I'm gonna have to sit there and watch her live. I'm gonna have to watch her live after that. After this, I'll watch it on a replay. But they could have. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I think that his character was good. They could have kept his character. I'm not a fan of this new iteration of. Here's the thing. I'm liking the Mason character stuff. I like the Mason stuff, and I want to see what they're going to wind up doing with him as far as who is their boss and everything like that. Latasha, why did then you think Phyllis will be safe? Jack cares about dating. I mean, here's the thing, Latasha. I knew that Daniel had a conscience, and he was like, "I want to make sure that I want to make sure that Diane doesn't go to jail for something that she didn't do. And what blew me about Summer is that Summer had no problems with there being all up in Kyle's face, but had no problems with there watching his mom go to jail for something that she didn't do. Like, how does that even work in your head? Melanie's in the chat. What's good, Mel? Thank you for joining. I was kind of worried, Mel. I was like, yo, listen, it's like a half an hour. Like, what's going on? So it's good to see you. Winning says there will be a twist if Victor, well, reading in his way. I have one more surprise for you, Ava, and oh, and of course, Nikisha is like, and it'll be Tyler. Let's everyone say what's up now. Melanie, Julie said, I think they killed off Franco to create a new character because, as I mentioned before, the executive producer gets paid bonus for a new character. Hmm. Are you kidding? Julie says the way they killed off established characters like Silas and kept the actor, but put him in a new role. The EP gets a bonus, and the actor can stay. Hmm. That's crazy, Julie. How do you do stuff like that? Is just absolutely nuts. It's like they're more concerned with lining their pockets than they are about um the quality of the show. That says something. It's not good. Then he said, "Did you know Sharon played Dawn on Chase in 1989? And my favorite one to live character is Todd Manning, Dylan Moody, and Patrick Thornhart." I did not know that. Natasha said I was listening to Dan, but she chorused, "Yes, yes, yeah." Natasha, yeah, I saw that comment. I was like, when she was like, "Oh, what she was doing is so evil, and I can't believe she would sit there and lie to her own kids." And I'm just like, the whole time I'm like, "Yo, is this chick serious?" And then she's like, "Oh wait, I did the same thing." I'm like, "Good." I was like, "Good," because I was like, "You're not that stupid." So good. Yeah, hit the like button. I don't know where we are in the like situation. So we got 30 people in the chat. We got 30 people in the chat. We got 22 likes. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does actually help. Also, I think we have 39 members so far. I'm going to try to get to 45 before the end of the month. So if you are thinking about joining, now would definitely be a really good time to join. We're gonna get kind of crazy in live streams for members only. So you definitely want to miss that. Also, I did my video for all the members about the whole Haley DUI thing and my thoughts are. Last day said last day says I'm good. I just finished setting up my new bed. I finally made two B&B reviews again. Unfortunately, I could only make today's episode. However, I know what to talk about since it was last day. I'm so glad that you are getting the swing of things, especially when it comes towards consolidating um like reviews and stuff like that with episodes. Mel says I host Sloan minds her own business now that she knows the secret. And Nicole, she's not gonna do that, Mel. Come on, Mel. You know she's not gonna do that. You've been watching Sloan as long as I have, so you already know. Nikki, I used to like fillers. I wish they had written their storyline different, like Jeremy had kidnapped her instead of her being in on it. I would like that, Nikisha, because at that point it just showed how stupid Phyllis was. Her back and forth, her whole, oh, telling Jeremy off like, bro, you're like 120 something pounds. This dude is like, what, 230 or something like that? Or like 200 something pounds? And you're snipping and saying to him that I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. You don't tell me what to do. This dude picks up a pair of scissors, and now she's all like, "No, no, I didn't. Don't do this to me. I'm sorry." But in a lot of ways, Nikisha, that just shows Phyllis fashion. Ooh, I do got a question for you, Nikisha. Well, to be fair, Phyllis isn't as annoying and as stupid as Nina. But Nikisha and everyone else, who do you think is who's more delusional? Phyllis Summers or Nina Reeves? I'm asking Nikisha and everyone else in this chat that knows those two characters. Who do you think is more delusional? Latasha too, which is oof. Then he says going to post a video tomorrow talking about B&B and GH. Okay, I look forward to hearing it. Well, actually, tell you no, I look forward to seeing it. Mel says, Daniel knows he stabbed Summer in the back. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Mel. As much as I do not like Summer, I kind of had to agree with that. Like you said, that's a damn good question. But Nikisha says I had to go with Phyllis. Okay, interesting, interesting. Ariana says Nina Reeves. Okay, I like that. One thing, so you'd be surprised if a woman when she had enough. That part will come out of nowhere. You're right. You're right. Adrenaline is a very powerful, powerful thing. Cat lady's in the chat. Let's say what's up to Cat lady. CW says they're both equally delusional and ironic with Michelle. That is very true, CW. Oh my god, that is very true. Krista's in the chat. What's good, Krista? Miss Gee is in the chat. How you doing tonight, Miss Gee? Yeah, no, I don't want. I mean, I don't want any character to sit and lose their child. I don't care if it's fiction or not. Nikisha, I mean, she faked her own death, then revealed herself. It's crazy to think she will get away with it. But here's the thing, Nikisha. She most likely will. She most likely will. Douglas says, oh, he will, Krista. Monique says both Nina and Phyllis blame others for what goes on in their lives. Yeah, that's what Smith is saying. I was like, they definitely do have that in common. Um, yeah, surely. No, I love my girl Miss Wu. I love my girl Selena. I feel like when I say Miss Wu, or no, I think when I say Mrs. Wu. So sometimes I'll call her Selena because it's like whenever I say Miss Wu, sometimes I say it in a way where it's like she's married to someone. But excuse me. Julie says I want Ava to Nina and make Miss Wu her new best friend. That'd be an interesting pairing. But I don't think that maybe Ava and Miss Wu, but Nina, no. Kelly says Miss Wu has her hands in a lot of cookie jars, as she should. Okay, as she should. I mean, she gotta find a way to take Sunny down. That's right, I said it. Miss Wu gotta find a way to take Sunny down. I like Sunny. My dude has been disrespecting this woman like there's no tomorrow. I'm like, bro, she's not your lapdog, bro. Find out what's going on and who tried to shoot me. Nah, bro, you're a grown ass man. You find out your damn self. She don't she don't work for you. Y'all do business together, but you sit there and act like she's your like she's some sort of secondhand citizen to you. I'm not cool with that. Oh, okay. All right, Julian, I'm cool with that. Krista says Kim China is a comedian and comes from a line of comedians. His twin brother. His twin. You mean they're not identical twins, right? Will had his own talk show. His father was a comedian. I'm choosing to believe this is publicly stunned for the fans. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did bench him for a little bit. You know, it's not like they can't bring him back. And let's be honest, Krista, I don't feel like sitting there watching this dude all sad and crying and stuff like that because Liesel can't sit there and get out her own head. So if they need to bench her for a little bit, I'm cool with that. Miss Key said Curtis should have never got involved with Selena anyway. Yeah, I agree with that. One thing says, how will Curtis get out from under Miss Wu? Because she owns it. Yes. Yes, Monique. Yo, when he was like, oh, you just want to have something over me. Miss Wu brung his ass back to reality like, bro, I already have you. Cutler says Dante won't let that happen as soon as he thinks his dad is a target. He goes into action even as a cop. Oh, you mean the taking down of Sonny? Maybe, but Julie says Curtis should get more involved in this role and finally become interested. Yeah, when he's not seen dealing with Messy Marvin, aka Portia. Mel says I love the friendship between Anna and Nicole. It is something different. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Anna because she just comes across as a typical dingbat. Like I said, what's up with Victor's greeting tomorrow? Natasha said Albert Miswoo ain't nothing. Ever since Jason died, he left his family. He's been trying to him. Ariana says Sonny is top dog and the waterfront belongs to him. So if he wants to do business, so if she wants to do business in that town, it's at Sonny's leisure. Now I get that. I'm just saying for now, I don't know. I just like I said, I'm not as much as I like Sonny, I'm like, yo, this dude can be he needs to be humbled. He needs to be humbled a little bit. This is it, listen, this is coming from somebody who likes Sonny, who is like my favorite character, but yeah, I noticed that too, Mel. I thought it was a kind of a weird scene. I was like, bro, just go and get your you got your wine and everything like that, say hi and keep it moving. What are you doing? Julia says, I mean, come on, Miss Wu needs to be captivating a man on the show. If Maurice was really a badass, he would demand a Sunny Miss Wu pairing, and I would then like Sunny. Sunny and Miss Wu pairing. Ever since I can safely say Trina Spencer had enough of Portia. Now Krista said who now Krista says who or is in on Mac's plan, Miss Wu, and how long has this? I've been wondering the same thing, Krista, but the only thing I could sit there and say is maybe he's doing it for Cody. He knows that Cody and Miss Wu are, you know, playing games and being around a bad influence and everything. And yeah, I agree with that, Gemini. I agree with that 100%. Portia is annoying as F. Julie says Grace needs to step up and make Sunny a real man. The only way to do that is a Sunny Wu pairing. Hmm. So you I don't think it would be bad, but I don't see. I mean, maybe for a business purpose, but just as them being like together. Now, in the case that Miss Wu saved Sunny and Carly's lives with that car bomb, Miss Wu was loyal to Carly, and Sunny's absence really he owes her. Gemini said Miss Wu is just a messy and sneaky mess at that. Gemini, did I say what's up to you when you first came in? If I didn't, what's good, Gemini? Thank you for joining. Then he said Laura Wright and Cindy was was in the same. Yep. And I think, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think that's what really works for those two. Now, Nikisha says, Nikisha said, I'm glad Portia doesn't support that name that I'm not going to announce. I'm not going to say it. As a mom, she's right to not want them together. I'm happy she just makes that name stronger. Portia's getting on my damn nerves at this point. Portia is getting on my effing nerves. I'm going to be honest. The fact that she was, and I feel like this is deja vu, but I'm going to say it anyway. The fact that she's sitting there talking about Spencer's character, I'm like, boo, you need to sit there and stop. Your character is not so shiny yourself. You've been lying to this girl for 18 years. You cheated on Taggart. You have the audacity to sit there and come at somebody else's character? Nah, bro. You need to sit there and shut the up. Like, dead ass serious. You need to sit there and just stop talking at that point. You are. I was so angry that I actually had to sit there and defend Spencer today. I had to sit there and defend that annoying, obnoxious, self entitled jackass today because Portia decided to be a POS. Kirby says the last time Sonny got with a woman on his mod level was Claudia, and you, yeah, that's very true. And he did say something that was just like, last day said, thank you, Albert. I'll probably tomorrow I will make my first GH review to have a different review on my channel. B&B is very repetitive. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Definitely change it up. I couldn't, Valerie. I couldn't do it. I'm like, Portia pissed me off to the point where I actually had to defend Spencer. You know there's a problem. That just, ugh. One day says, can't comment on the ins and outs of teenage relationship because I'm not a mother, but if I would, probably do the same. I mean, that chick is annoying. That chick is annoying. She comes across as a damn Karen. She's sitting there blaming Spencer for Trina being reckless with her life. Oh, I'm gonna blame Spencer for Trina following Spencer. Like, I'm sorry, but what kind of dumbass ish is that? Like, seriously, what kind of it's stupid. It's stupid, it's dumb, and yeah, it's stupid and dumb. Gemini says I missed 2 days in the chat because Albert is And Gemini says, I missed 2 days in the chat because I was defending Spencer. Yeah. Yeah, Gemini pretty much when at that point hell practically froze over. Okay. Hell pretty much froze over. It was actually a cold day in hell. Miss Key says, Robert, you know what they say about people who live in glass houses. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that. It's just like, bro, if you want to sit there and get mad at somebody, get mad at your own damn daughter. Stop saying they're trying to get mad at Spencer. Spencer didn't sit there ask Trina to go. Like, what kind of stupid ass logic is that? Okay. Krista said Portia knows she can't dictate what a grown adult can or can't do. She just doesn't care about is a complete is a control freak who is dishonest unless it suits her. Double C says I was going to. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to, but this chick just like pissed me off. Like, Nikisha is definitely the whiny with Portia. Even when she's happy, she's squirreling. I cringe every time. Nikisha, I can definitely understand the way Portia feels about Spencer, but yeah, she needs to stay in the house. Yeah, and that's the thing, Jess. I can understand that she wants to protect the daughter and everything like that. But like, first of all, you got Ava, you got Taggart that's in there saying, stay out of it. You're going to push your daughter away if you keep up with this. You're going to push your daughter away if you keep up with this. And yet her dumbass isn't listening. That's number two. Number one, Trina is supposed to be a smart, intelligent person, but yet she's running into danger, and somehow you blame Spencer for that. That's number two. Bottom line is, she's a dumbass. Now, Julie says, props to you for defending Spencer, knowing how you feel about him. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Lord B, you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. And as much as I don't like Spencer, I'm not about BS. So thank you, Lord B. Gemini says, Spencer and Trina are adults. Let them live. Trina's acting a good kid with a brain. Yeah, I'm like, yo, you do realize that this chick is 19, right? Like you should know that because you lied to this chick for 19 damn years. Seriously, you lied to this chick for 19 years. One says, I would imagine as a parent to let your child make her own decisions. It's hard, but Trina is grown. Let her find her own way. Yeah, I'm. See, here's the thing about me. For the most part, I'm very left brain, right? So there's a lot of times when people think with emotions, they don't think with logic. I get that. I almost feel like taking this cup and throwing it against the wall. Um, Ariana says at the end of the day, Trina has to decide that Spencer is what she wants, needs, whatever the outcome is. Nikki said Portia and Elizabeth should go dancing at the Savoy and let a sexy man hit on Portia and Curtis' face. See how he feels. Nikisha, I thought you were cool with Spence. I mean, I thought you were cool with Curtis. Krista said my question is where does all this fear and need to control her life? Um, Krista, it comes from the fact that she's a dumbass. I'm not even gonna sit there and try to sugarcoat this. It's literally okay. That was not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. Latasha, I hope Miss Wu doesn't mess with the DNA test. Latasha, did you see how many times that Curtis was sitting there asking about the security? You're like, how's security? Is security good? You have cameras? What's your protocol? Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm actually going to drink all of this, but Lord BC, that's great that you're growing your channel past. Okay. Ariana says, "Oh, Albert, the wine is good tonight. Oh, the wine is good tonight. I don't know which wine is better though, Ariana. I don't know if the California stuff is better or is the regular Moscato better." Nikki said, "Curtis is okay. I think it would be a good sense. I think it would be a good scene and force Curtis to see his no reply." Oh, okay. I got you. So, Nikisha, this is why I want you to be. This is why I want you to be a sober viewer. Krista said Trina is actually 20 and almost 21. She was 18. Oh, damn. Lied to her for 20 something years. Ain't that a butter? Monique says, I'm 40. My mom and dad still worry about me. Granted, I made some bad choices in my life, but they tell me it's your choice. Most of them don't like the way Audra, the co-host, or Snake is just so desperate and pathetic tried to get Nate. But, I said this in my review, and I'm going to say this again. Even though I'm a little tipsy, I'm going to sit there and say it anyway. Listen, I love being a man. I really do. But I don't think that there is, she is going through way too much trouble. Okay. And, yeah, yeah, we're just not, I don't think I'm drunk enough to say that. Never mind. She's doing too much. She is doing too much. I'm still going to hold my tongue somewhat. Riley says they killed his work killing, they like his work killing Victor. Kristen says Spencer is 20 or 21. Okay, so they're like around the same. Okay, so they're like in their 20s then. Aaron said, why can't both lines be good? Enjoy both of them. No, that's true. I'm just, you're absolutely right, Ariana. I remember I was talking to my aunt, and she didn't like. You know what she didn't like? She didn't like the brand. She didn't like the brand of the wine that I got. Like she likes Moscato. Well, she's not a fan of Moscato. She's more like a dry wine kind of person. But she wasn't a fan of the brand. I didn't really get it, but Natasha says Audra's a snake, but so is Nick and Vicky. Yeah, I mean they definitely belong together. Blackma says, "Go ahead, Albert, speak." Listen, all I'm gonna say is, listen. I love being a man, and I personally love my joystick, but I don't think that it's worth. I don't think it's worth going through all that amount of trouble. I really don't. The way that Audra's actually doing all these chess piece moves and everything like that, I was like, bro, you really doing that over a man? Like, really? Because I can tell you from a man's point of view, we ain't worth all that amount of trouble. Valerie says, "Oh, dry wine." Yeah, like well, that's the thing, Valley. I'm still new to this whole wine thing. I had red wine, and it's dry. It's very bitter. But she said that there was some wines that was actually sweet that I'm still trying to look for. Julie says the the actor who plays Spencer has grown a lot in his short time. Yeah, Joey, he's doing his thing. Nicholas Chavez is definitely doing his thing. Monique says, always believe a man and a woman shows you love by their actions. Sometimes words ain't enough. Maybe you can't say, "Oh, I changed." Actions speak louder than words. Well, Latasha said, "I bet Sloan used Nicole's pregnancy against her." Of course she is. She's Sloan. Listen, Latasha, there's no "I bet." You should just sit there and say that she is, because that's what she's going to do. Julie says, "I was spitting truth tonight, admitting y'all ain't worth it or the effort." Because it's true, Julie. Listen, I mean, each man will sit there and speak their own truth. I can only speak my truth, and I'm just like, nah. We, listen, our joysticks, it's not worth the mountains that this woman is literally climbing to get the name. We're just not. Thank you, Julie. Every single I know men are historically known for being sexist, but I had five sisters, and I can tell you that women can be just as nasty or nastier than any group of gym guys. No, I mean, I believe you. Because here's the thing, Darby, at the end of the day, being a dick or being a sexist person, there's no gender qualifications for that. There isn't. So you are 100% right about that. Victoria's in the chat. Was good, Victoria. Miss Wu's not Miss Wu most not be scared of Sunny. What she tried on Gladys today is wild. I'm just keeping it real. Valerie, Jonathan, my friend, how are you doing tonight? Sherry Jewell says the reason why Liam is so disliked is because he's a self-righteous douchebag who used to juggle. Cherie Jewel is in the chat, and you are speaking some facts apparently. Because heard that from other people as well. Ariana says men are not complete. Um, Ariana says men are not complicated. I'm failing out. I'm falling out. Most of us aren't. I don't think I am really. Not exactly a mystery. To be honest, not. That's right. Let's everyone say what's up to Jonathan. Jonathan, my friend, how you doing tonight? Monique says the one thing my older cousin said to me was, as a female, you have to think as if you had something long and hard between your legs to understand how most men think. You know, this props. Thank you, Monique. And this prompts me to say something. I'm going to read these two comments, but this prompts me to say something. And I don't like saying this, but I feel like I need to say this. Miss Key said, try some barefoot, bubbly, sparkling pink Moscato. Barefoot, bubbly, sparkling pink. That was my damn. Miss Key, you know how much I love Moscato. I'm not ignoring anyone, I promise. Oh, no, no, pink Moscato. Thank you, Miss Gee. Miss Gee coming in with the recommendation. I love it. Hippie's in the chat. Was good, Hippie? Nikisha Albert, we're listening and you got sidetracked with the wine. Oh, yeah. Let me take this. Let me hit this drink real quick. I'm gonna sit there and say something that I probably shouldn't be saying, and it involves a couple of curse words, so don't be surprised. Sri J says, has anyone ever watched the movie called Ugly Truth? I kind of want to watch that movie. Everyone says you always make me laugh so much when you're bringing the truth. All right, so here's the truth, or at least one of the truths. Date like a man so you don't get played like a bitch. I'm going to say that again. Date like a man so you don't get played like a bitch. I don't like saying that, but let's just be real for a minute. That sentence could not be any truer. It just couldn't be any truer. It's true. Tracy Stevens, unfortunately, that's true. Date like a man so you don't get played like a bitch. Darby said, could you wait until the members? Oh, trust me, Darby, we're going to listen, that's just the tip of the iceberg that I'm going to sit there and get into um, this weekend. But that is one of the things that, you know, I wanted to sit there and say, sure, for real. It's true. And Victoria says you get this from Steve Harvey. No, I don't know who I got that from. It wasn't Steve Harvey. I think I heard it from somebody, but it wasn't Steve Harvey though. Nikki said, "Yeah, I can't date like a man, so I always got played. Now I'm happy to be permanently single." Hmm. Well, Nikisha, that's a shame for the rest of the world to not know such a very kind-hearted and beautiful soul like you, and inside and out. That is a shame for the rest of the world. But you know what, Nikisha? They don't deserve you. And he says, watch old school GH, watch Sonny and his brother Rick. When Sonny found out Rick is Sonny's half brother. Yeah, that was actually a good episode. Yeah, since that deserves a second bottle of wine. It definitely does. Unfortunately, I'm out. So I'm kind of disappointed by that. Just yeah, dating is just Smith right now. Hippie says me too. Krista says I like the young woman playing the stage manager on GH the last two episodes. They're in Home and Health. Now I know why. She is Jeannie Francis' daughter, Elizabeth Francis. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting. He's just you want to talk about something in private. Weekends always special though. Oh no! That was just something that I just wanted to just pull out as far as knowledge. As far as knowledge. Tracy says having a peaceful life is the key with or without someone. Yeah, also finding good research material. Also finding good research material. Johnson says final episode of Flash is next week. You know, Jonathan, I got very mixed feelings about it because I felt like this whole season wasn't really good. And part of me is just like, we need to get to the end fast. We need to get to the end like it was yesterday. Because I look at it and I'm like, historically, when it comes to a CW, most of their finales that I've watched has always been somewhat disappointing. So I'm sad in some ways, but at the end of at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, we need to kind of wrap this up, especially with Riverdale. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Ariana says you need another with a weekend members chat. Oh yeah, no, I definitely do want to get one. Really want to get one. Um, cause we gonna go in on that. We got, and that's the thing, Darby. If since you're in here, there's just things that we're going to be discussing. There's things that I need to get off my chest that I will sit there and definitely tell the members that because it's when he says when I was young I was all about one night stands, loves and leave them type of girls. It's what I am, and I find out I'm still like that at my age. Ridiculous. But is it ridiculous, Monique? Is it ridiculous? Like, is it really ridiculous, or is that just what you want? I mean, at the end of the day, Monique, it's your life to live. You only have one. And if it works for you, it works for you. If you're happy with it. Yes, thank you, Black Maya. Hit that like button. We got 37 likes. I have no idea where we are. I mean, we're at 37 people in the chat. We got, okay, I feel like I'm getting way too drunk for this. Okay, cool. We got 35 likes and 36. Okay, all right, we're good. Thank you, everyone. Now, Johnson says Smallville finale was good. It was good for Smallville standards. It was good for Smallville standards. Um, I mean, come on now. Let's be honest, Jonathan. This dude literally pushed back a whole planet. Even for comic book standards, it was it was literally as good as Smallville. Um, Seriously, this thing is going so damn slow, and I'm sent to. I feel like I need to just read out the damn chat at this point because it's going so. Darby says we don't need you to be canceled. No, no, no. I'm gonna say this stuff in the members only one. Ariana says members chat. We all get stuff off our chest. Yes, that's one of the many reasons why I do love that. Yes, that is one. Oh. Have a good night, Julie. Thank you for joining. I hope you get to sit there and be with us for our members live stream. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Um, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm definitely gonna be sitting there. Um, I don't want to say, well, I guess I will be sharing, but like just we're gonna get into it this weekend. We're gonna get into it. One says, I wish there is a certain number of times we can hit the like button. I tried to hit the like button again. It goes. No, I appreciate that, Monique. I really do. Listen, any likes really does help. Okay. First of all, Monique, you being here helps. Second of all, you being a member, that really does help. You hit the like button, that helps. Um, if you're in the chat and you want to share the video, that helps. And we're at 39 members so far. So if you are thinking about joining, Be a really good time to join. I want to get to like I want to get to I want to get to 43. I want to get to 40. I want to get to 44. So we still got a couple of days before the end of the month, so it does help. Latasha says, I remember Jason beat Rick to a pulp. Hmm. I don't remember that for some odd reason. I remember when I remember, Latasha, I remember when he first came in and he beat somebody's ass. It was AJ. He whooped AJ's ass. I remember that. Blackman says I'll be getting my Reese's piece. Yes, we are going to have a great time. Nikisha, I retain when I remember when Rick had Carly chained to a wall and a panic room when she was pregnant. Because that's Nikisha. Let's not forget about that part. Because that actually happened. That actually happened. That does help though. That does help. Now Twitter is a toxic dump site, right? But I do follow some people on Twitter. But if you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram because we always sit there and talk and chop it up and everything. Finish this first. Nikki said my girl Carly has been through some things. AP says my store didn't have that ice cream, but they had cookie and cream. Cookie and creams is a second good choice. Yes, kind of sucks. Was it Briarcliff? You know, it's really funny, hippie and everyone. I totally forgot ice cream because I was having Popeyes. I was having Popeyes. Monique says that was when Liz was married to Rick at the time. Yeah, that whole seduction thing with Sam. Because back then Sam was. I mean, Sam is still that chick, even though she has a little bit of work. She's still that chick to some extent. It's really crazy. I'm just that you're talking about Sam has that work. I mean, Sam has work, and Donna has a ton of work, and yet I guess she just had a better plastic surgery. So okay. Ariana says getting my caramel coffee fudge with ice cream for the weekend and drinks. Okay, and drinks. I love that. I love that. Love, 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 love that. This weekend is gonna be good. Says this weekend's gonna be good. Why is it going so damn slow for it? Danny says Sam and Lucky were together back in the. Yep, that's very true. When he was played by Greg Vaughn. When he was played by Greg Vaughn. Danny, so you watched General Hospital, and what other soaps do you watch? Monique says I went to Starbucks this morning, and employees were like, "Haven't seen you in a while. You find another Starbucks." We were laughing and joking. I said, "You and me are for life." Monique, yes. Listen, this. there's a couple of rituals that there's a couple of routines that I like in the morning. Starbucks is definitely one of those routines. Lashanta says, remember Rick Carly to hotel and took her clothes off like they had sex and she was pregnant with his child. Damn, I don't remember that. But Jesus Christ. And that's very true, Nikisha. She did. And then Michael came in and took something and bashed that chick over the head. Um, bashed that chick over the head. And then Michael went to jail. Here's the thing, Nikisha. You know what's really crazy? When Michael was sentenced, that first time the judge was like, "You're going to Pentonville for 5 years." I'm not gonna lie, like I was like my heart would just kind of like just drop to the ground for a minute, and even a prosecutor was horrified and in disbelief about that whole situation. I still remember, yeah, I still remember to that day, just like how jaw dropping that was. But that's the thing though, like back then it was such great storytelling. Also, we didn't have the internet to spoil us. So there was that. Latasha, I know because she dealt with a lot. Yeah, Rick did come down to Rick did come to take Sunny down. And Nikisha, I couldn't believe it. I was so mad at Dante. It's funny, Nikisha, even Dante was upset with himself. Like, I just remember that ruling. And I remember everyone just being like, like we're just all shocked. And and again, Nikisha, see, when that came on during that time, I didn't have the internet, right? I didn't have the internet. So it was truly surprising for me. This is before I became a reviewer and everything like that. Which begs the question: would I have enjoyed that story as much if I wasn't watching it from a fan's point of view? Had access to the internet when I was reviewing these soap operas. Would I actually have enjoyed it that much? I'm gonna be completely honest, woman. I enjoy these shows, but watching it from a fan's point of view, as opposed to watching it from a reviewer's point of view, is completely different. Victoria says, "Do you think if they covered it up and called the police, Michael's situation would have been different?" It was, Victoria. If they didn't cover it up, it might have been a little bit different. I would sit there and say, "Why is it going so slow?" It might have been a little bit different. Justice says, "I was reckless with Melinda." Jonathan, what was worse about her firing Rafe was to sit there and put Paulina in charge. Loud mouth, loud mouth Paulina in charge. Like you said, stuff wasn't on the internet like back then. And that's true, Nikisha. That's true. But I might have been tempted if it was. Oh, excuse me. I might have been tempted if it was. And Nikisha, we didn't know about actors' contracts back then. But that's very true, Nikisha. So like even when I was watching like One Life to Live, even when I was watching One Life to Live and people were dying or people we didn't know if they were gonna die or anything like that, it was so much of there was so much suspense. And I just feel like I don't know. Johnson says Melina has no law enforcement experience. It was so stupid. It was so like Melinda, you come in there to sit there and try to sweet talk Abe by saying, "Hey, listen, I want you to fire Ray, but there's a good side to it. I want you to put your wife in charge." What the? Jonathan, I think that's another reason why I actually had to do the review today of Days of Our Lives, because I was like, I can't believe y'all just coming out with this level of BS. Victoria says, I agree. I believe if they didn't cover it up, Michael would have been better off. He got, yeah. Oh, trust me. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Laura B says, according to Lucky Victoria, if they didn't do nothing, he would have done time. Yeah, no, they definitely screwed it up. And why is this going so goddamn slow? Mel says Eric will be a good father with Nicole's baby. Yeah, I mean, my whole here's the thing, Mel. Here's the thing, Mel. I think Nicole needs to stop worrying about other people's reactions. Stop stressing herself out and just be honest. Firequake says, I wonder if they kill Bobby with Nina. I wonder if they kill Bobby, will Nina use that as advantage? I don't get that. CW says good night. Good evening. Good night. Have a good night, CW. Thank you for joining. It was really good to see you in the chat. Hope I get to see you tomorrow. I love these. I love these live streams, especially these weekends ones. Especially the weekends ones, but especially these days, dog. I got some plans. I will sit there and say, just as a teaser, I got some plans for this channel, for these live streams. Um, I have some ideas for some plans that I may be implementing. So, as James says, stay tuned. And he said that's why Michael and Sam are close. She was the only one he felt safe to talk because he knew she knew what Bobby. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. I still sat there. I'm not gonna lie. I still felt like her officiating wedding was just BS and laziness on the show's part. Jesus Christ, John. Yes, I've been after today's episode when she said that I was like, how is she still a with her track record? Are you kidding me? Firecrack says, Firecrack says, how Carly always takes shots at Nell. I'm saying if Nell will do the same to Bobby since they're going to kill her off. But Nina do. I hope not. Here's the thing. Here's the difference, by the way. If it was just a character that got killed off, okay, fine. I mean, it would be. Let's be honest, it'd be a shitty thing to do, but I would understand that. But because the actual actress died, yeah, yeah, that would just that would feel awful in a lot of ways. It will feel um it'll feel wrong. Mel says, Albert, when do you think how long it will be when Xander find out about he is the father? Um Hopefully when Sarah comes back. Hopefully when Sarah comes back. But I'm gonna be honest. Here's the thing. I'm gonna sit there and say this about the Sarah character. Let this chick wrap up her story and just end it. I am so sick and tired of her coming back, the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth BS thing that she keeps doing. Um, I'm sick of it. Just pick a goddamn lane and stay in it. I know that doesn't apply with all actors or whatever, because Hope has said the same thing. But Nikisha, I thought it was good. Nod to GH Real History. I appreciate Sam appreciating. Okay. Well, I respect your opinion. W says if you think these live streams are difficult, wait till you get hundreds. I'm I mean, here's the thing, Darby. I never feel like they're maybe my facial expressions is because when I sit and try to keep up with everyone. But I will say this much. I think, man, I sound like somebody else who's saying this, and I can't stand myself for that. But I feel like making people feel important, making feel not even making people feel important, knowing that they are important. That I try to get to as many people as I can during these live streams are very important. And Darby, I've seen people who has but 100, 400, 600 people that go on these that do these live streams, and they don't message any of them unless they tip or unless they're members or whatever. And I feel like that's such a very shitty thing to do. I really do. So no matter if I get 100, if I get 200, I want to make sure everyone at the very least is having a good time. Now, Double C says, hopefully Sarah doesn't return. Stay go. Yeah, Well, here's the thing, Double C. I want her to come back for this baby storyline that they started doing, and they couldn't be bothered to finish it because the actress left. But then he said, yeah, not a fan of the character Sarah from Days. Oh, Danny. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. How many soap operas do you actually watch? I'm gonna try to look for your comment. I've been a little tipsy. I'm gonna try to look for your comment. How many soap operas do you actually watch? Spiderquake says I've seen a lot of weddings and shows and movies, but Willow and Michael were so bad I had to cover my eyes and mute the TV. Damn, Michael and Willow's wedding sucked so bad. Okay, well, you know, Spiderquake, I would sit there and disagree. I don't think it was that bad, but I'm not gonna lie, I did actually fast forward to their wedding. But to be fair, Spiderquake, I fast forward through most people's weddings. I didn't used to do that back in the day. Like I actually watched from start to finish Patrick and Robin's wedding. I actually watched from start to finish their Elsa Sarah is coming back and is in the works right now. It's been confirmed. Okay. Danny says watch all four and YNR and B and Chase. Nice, okay. Wow, this thing is going slow. Like it was yesterday. So I quick says out of thousands of weddings I've seen Mike and Willow was only unwatchable one. Okay. I get it to some like I said, I fast forward through it, so I can't knock you. Can't knock you. Natasha said, yeah, no, gaslighting Carly after Morgan died. She was nothing but good to her. Yeah. Like Rick says, well, so maybe that's because the wedding actually went through. I mean, yeah, there was a couple weddings that went through. But then again, you started watching it later on you started watching it later on. Like when I watched Patrick and Robin's wedding, it was early. I think it might have been like 2008, 2009. I remember Coleman actually being the best man, which I'm just like, uh, Darby says Sarah Horton is like a giant wet blanket that passed back and forth by Xander, Cook, and Rex. I'm not a fan. Here's the thing, Darby. I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of hers for a couple of reasons. Um, she goes out with Xander. She knows exactly who he is. Xander changes for Sarah, but he doesn't change because it's the right thing to do, so it doesn't stick. So she gets upset and she's like, "Oh, Xander's this and Xander's that." There's a point where Xander sits there and tells Sarah, "Listen, you knew who I was like when you married me." And this is the same thing that goes with Ariana says Patrick and Rob's wedding was beautiful. Maybe it was. I'm imagining it was. I don't know. I'm not a huge wedding fan, but I didn't watch all the way through, so I guess it wasn't that bad. Nikki said no drugs. Sonny made him think he cheated on Carly. I remember that. That was some trifling ish right there. Oh, Victoria says the last couple of Jewish wedding has gone through. They usually do the sync, the shake up after the wedding. I laugh, lady. Yeah, that's very true. Monique says, when I was younger, I would question every good thing in my life. People being nice, I would question it. Hmm. Well, I'm sorry you actually had to go through that. No one should have to sit there and question themselves and question the good things that happen in their lives. That is that is god awful. My God, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. Now, Nikki said Nina was horrible to. I mean, Nell was horrible to Nina too. She tried to blackmail Valentine with that epic Cassandra kiss. Yes, and it's really messed up. Even Nina called Nell out on her BS, but of course she sat there and tried to revive history. So, Spike Quick says Michael and Willow is just the worst wedding unless someone can tell me. Yeah, I don't know. Nikki said Maurice Bernard doesn't remember the Nell storylines. Well, to be fair, Nikisha, he's been doing this for like what 30 something years. How many stuff he had to sit there and remember lines and stuff? I wouldn't be too surprised. It is kind of weird to sit there and say that he doesn't remember any of it. And John says that I guess tomorrow Talia will come clean to Chanel about everything. Is that John? I feel like that. The sad thing is that I feel like that's supposed to be like her her redemption arc, and from me in my eyes, it's just not going to work. But be kind of curious to sit there and see who feel like she's gonna be redeemed after that. Danny says my favorite characters in Days is Bo Break. Oh, Danny, how long have you been watching the show for? And Spiderquake says who is worse, Nell or Esme? Hmm. That's a good question, Jack. Who's worse, Nell or Esme? Have a good night, Tamara. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure to sit there and see you in the chat, see your purple icon. So hopefully I get to see you tomorrow. And if you have some time, definitely come through the live stream. We're going to be going through it. And hopefully I have some more goddamn wine. We're going to be going through it though. You know what it was, Jess, with now? She was very one note. She was very, very one note. Latasha says, I like Sammy Brady. Messy, 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 messy. Nikki said Maurice didn't believe that Nell is Nina's daughter. He said Nina past doesn't count because it's new actress. That's what? Listen, I love my guy Maurice Bernard, but for him to sit there and say something like that, like, oh, it's a different actress, so it doesn't count. I'm gonna be honest, even in my somewhat inebriated state, that sounds pretty stupid. Like Thor and just want to slam the damn cup down. Johnson says, I say now she killed someone and slashed Brooklyn's throat. That's actually very true. I mean, granted, the revenge. Ooh, okay. I got to question that one. Ariana says, I remember Bo Brady when he rode onto the soap on a motorcycle. But here's the thing, though. Yes, um, Nell did kill someone, right? Let's think about this though for a minute. Esme did revenge or not, right? That's backwards for, I can't say. That's going to be on the internet for life, right? So if you look at what Esme did and you look at what Nell did was bad, right? Well, where's my at? What Nell did was bad and it was life changing. What Esme did was bad, and anybody with anybody with access to the internet can sit there and find that. That is, oddly, in some ways, I feel like what Esme did was worse. I think that Nell is just a terrible character, but I felt like what Esme did might actually be worse. Monique says, so the new trailer for the new James Bond movie with H's out at James Bond. Monique, I wasn't a huge fan of the James Bond series, but knowing that my guy Elbrus is playing James Bond, there's a huge part of me that actually wants to watch. There's a huge part of me that actually wants to watch it. Nikisha now hurt more people. That's true. Now, just said, why is Esme worse? The revenge tape. Listen, Nell killed people, right? She at least killed one person and slashed Brooklyn's throat. And I think that that's terrible. I Maybe Nell is worse. I just feel like what Esme did, it might be somewhat of a tie. Let's think about this for a minute, right? Your most intimate moment, your most private moment that you did with somebody is on the internet. Anytime you work at a new job, at any point in time, somebody could sit there and be like, doot, 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 doot. Oh wow, this is crazy. This is hot. Oh Josh, I didn't know you were into that. That's what's up. You like handcuffs and whipped cream? I feel like in some sort of ways that might be, I don't know. Then John says no actor has been cast as new James Bond yet. There is no official trailer. Okay. Jonathan, I was never a huge fan of James Bond anyway. Um so with James Bond it's like take it or leave it. But, you know. Kyrese is in the chat. What's good, Kyrese? Let's everyone say what's up to Kyrese. How are you doing, my friend? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, and Acacia does have a point. No, you got a point. Just as I mean, yeah, that's bad, but not how no one is talking about how it's now. Now, Nikisha, I'd much rather have my ex tape out there than to die. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. You're right. You're right. Hmm. But I don't know. I mean, no offense, but like if you're dead, you're not gonna really care about anything else. If you're alive, you gotta sit there and live through it. I'm just saying. Dave said, "Hey Albert, I would be here tonight, but there are so many live streams, so I tend to see you tomorrow." All right, Dave, you have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. It's great to see you. Who else is live? Who else is live streaming besides Who else is live streaming besides Candy? Besides Candy Corn? So quick says I feel like everyone forgot about Esme killing someone. Oh, you- you're right, Haggerty, right? I think that's his name, Paul Haggerty. Just that that was Heather. Whoa, okay. So who? No, no, no. Who? Nikisha, you got me. I did. Nikisha. That's how I felt about what you call it. Um, Nikisha, that's how I felt about Spencer today. No, she tried to kill him. He survived. Okay, so it was Heather. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jess. And thank you, Nikisha. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a great night. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And yes, Jess and Nikisha, you are 100% right. Thank you. Now, Um, Clark Industries says, just finished watching GH. Able to look beautiful in that green. I wanted to see Spencer stab when he was going on about manipulating Esme to give up the baby. Writers better never let it happen. Better never let it happen. You damn right, Jess. That's exactly what my guy said. Danny said started watching the show in 2004. Cheech was my first show. Tried it out, and do you know if they are going to do an All My Children reboot? I was sitting there. I came. Here's the thing. Kelly Ripa hasn't said anything about that yet. I want them to do it, but here's what I will sit there and say about that, Danny. If they do it, I heard it won't be like a soap. Like it won't be a daytime show. It'd be more like a nighttime show. If that makes any sense. Like it won't be like soap kind of. It won't be like prime daytime. But it really depends, though. It really depends. I gotta look that up. But thank you, Danny. I'm gonna look that up. And when I know something, I will definitely let you know. WC said I think Heather should, of course, I think I really think Heather should have hooked Portia, then Esme and Trina can have it out. What is this, Battle Royale? Carrie says, I literally was like Ryan. Spencer vexes me. Oh, you SLB. Spikequake says everyone on GH dying, leaving, or getting fired. Hmm. I don't think it's that many people that's getting fired, or I mean that. All right, well, maybe with the whole dying part, but I think you might be kind of over exaggerating. I think you might be kind of over exaggerating just a little bit, but you're not that far off. I'll say that much, Spikequake. Now, Jess says, Kyrie's, are you not a fan of that name that I don't want to sit there and say? Are you not a fan of Trina and Spencer's coupling? Yeah, that's the question for Kyrie's Clark Industries. That's really funny. I was not there. I was on this bit of a tangent, right? And I think I was going to sit there and talk about DC's retirement. I know he says he's coming back, but I'm going to call it DC's retirement. And I'm wondering how she actually enjoying the shows now that he's not reviewing the shows. And he's just an actual he's just a viewer of the shows. He's just watching it from a fan's point of view. That's right, Spiderquake. That's why I didn't say it. That's why I didn't say it because it is dumb. Okay, I don't want to sit there and say. Let me take that back. I don't want to sit there and say it's dumb, but I don't like saying it because for me, it just every time I say it, it just comes across as very cringe. I'm not a huge fan of it, but oh, you son of a. Have a good night, Valerie. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a great night. Let's everyone say good night to Valerie. Now Nate says breaking news: SAG affair national board unanimously recommended that its members voted to authorize a strike. Okay, so it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. Autumn says it's not. Autumn says it's not cool. Okay, well, to me, it's cringe. I can't sit there and say for anyone else. To me, it's cringe. Um, Nate says the action comes following an unanimous agreement by the TV theater negotiations committee that the strike authorization will give the union maximum bargaining leverage. I don't. That's what I will sit there and say. This is so acidine. Laura B says I'm going to follow. Have a good night, Laura B. Thank you for joining. XX is in the chat. What's good, XX? Danny says, hope one day Tamara returns to GH on or days. I'll see her on days. I don't need to sit there and see her on I don't need to see her come back as Cam Nero. I'm good. Now Johnson said we're about to enter the TV drone because of the strike. The drop because of the strike. Yeah. Hmm. You know, they're just asking for 2%. They're just asking for 2%. So, you know, my whole thing is if they actually think Why is this not working? If they actually think that what I don't understand what the studios are hoping for. Are they hoping for um AIs to be that they're writing for these shows? From what I understand, that they only asking for 2%. If they can't give them 2%, I don't know what the hell to sit there and say. Carrie says I like Trina Spencer chemistry. I just don't like Spencer as an individual. You damn right. You are damn right. Carrie says I 100% agree with that. I can't stand him. But have a good night, Laura B. Thank you for joining. Mel says I saw the Black Phone 2 movie with Ethan Hawke. Back is coming out and oh okay. I didn't watch the first one, but I do remember it coming out and being like, I kind of want to watch it. And you are taking forever. Wow, you are really taking forever. Autumn says goodnight to everyone in the chat. Got to get up for work in the morning. The beauty of being in the dark. Yes. Oh, Autumn, the beauty of being an adult. Waking up god awful early to do things that you don't really want to do. Sometimes. But yeah, being doing adult stuff can suck sometimes. Can suck a lot of times. What's good, Daisy Flower? Thank you for joining. How are you doing tonight? Now, Nate says a successful strike authorization vote doesn't initiate a strike. The strike authorization permits the board to declare a strike if the studios and streaming companies fail to negotiate with the SAG. They better not. They better not. I will sit there and say this much. I say this much. I won't get into details, but I'll say this much though. Things are going to get resolved. But until it does, I do have a backup plan for this channel that I will sit there and say. And I say that because I know a lot of channels are going to start to struggle if the strike continues and everything like that. But I've been doing my research, like actual legitimate research on things I'm going to be sitting there implementing to the channel. So you just move your. Just says Albert, are you drunk? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yes, what makes you say that? Besides the obvious. Now, Spiderquake says, I don't like Sabrina. Spiderquake says, Sabrina's better. No, Spiderquake says, Sabrina's better than your favorite couples, Drew, Carly, Joss, Dex. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm so glad I'm not into this super couple stuff. Mel says, Sally will be back in Adam's direction once Nick helps Sharon with a crisis. I won't be too surprised. Latasha says, you have heard about the Golden Bachelor with senior citizens. What? No, 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 no. I haven't heard about that. What the hell is that witchcraft about? Johnson says the CW now stands for cheat watching. You know, Jonathan, to be fair, that show was, I mean, that network was always about cheap watching, but now they officially are living up to their title. I'll tell you this much, Jonathan. Once Riverdale ends and Superman Lois ends, I'm done with that network. I will legit wash my hands of that network and just be done. Just be done. That's right, Jonathan. I'm still sore about them canceling legacies. They put on NASCAR and golf. Okay. Victoria says I like Cameron M, but for some reason they never truly do right by Drew character. The character has a lot of potential. See, here's the thing. I like Drew. I do. Maybe because of Cameron Madison. And why is this going so goddamn slow? I like I like Drew as a character. Um, for me, it's like when they put him in some stuff, like the whole Ice Princess story, him getting out. Um, like when he was first introduced, I like him. I liked him. Spike Quick, I haven't heard the word research in a while. Good times. You know, here's the thing, Spike Quick, and this is one of the many reasons why I love our live stream. Is our inside jokes. If it's our inside jokes, I'll say this much: if you are going to be in James' live stream, say the word research. I bet you he won't know what it means because that's our thing. That's our little inside joke. Double C says I prefer Sabrina and Trina over Dex and Josh. Josh and Dex just have X and talk about Sunny. XX says same legacy deserves better. It was starting to get really good. Yes, it was. XX, I would sit there and say Legacy season 4 felt like, you know what? Maybe we should sit there. I don't know what the hell they were doing through seasons 1 and 3, but it did not feel like the Vampire Diaries universe. Um, uh, but season 4 actually felt like, you know what? We are actually part of the Vampire Diaries universe. It was good. It was good. God, it pisses me off. So you know, it gets to a point where I actually have to laugh because I'm so. There's just things I can't say on YouTube, but to sit there and say I'm not happy is definitely among them. WC's a great job at Buff Music and Lois and got nice. I may stop watching. But for me, oh yeah, no, yeah, I don't blame you. Here's the thing, Double C, if you don't move your Riverdale, when that's over, I'll just be happy. Then Nikisha, I would be careful. Don't be control. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh my God, Miss Polka Dots herself, Miss Beatmaster herself is in this chat. I feel so honored, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say what's up to Polka Dots, Miss Polka Dots. That was really funny. I actually want to listen to that song that I like this morning when I was getting out of bed. Um, Kind of start my day. Yes. Yeah. I mean, polka dots. There's like 1,000 reasons why you can be surprised at that show exists. But love it or hate it, or really do hate it. Um, that show is still on. But no, Miss Polka Dots. That's really crazy. Even though you're in my live stream, I'm such a huge fan of yours. I don't even know where to begin. I still, like I said, I still listen. I still listen to that song. Harry says I was even more angry about the Karen attitude about the phone Joshua. The victim sues her so hard that she barely is able to afford thrift shop clothes. See, this is why I rock. This is why I rock with you, Kyrie's. Monique says Vampire Diaries now on Peacock. Monique, I would sit there and say this. There's so many classic scenes to that show. And yes, let everyone say what's up to polka dots. There's so many classic scenes to that show. Um, one of my favorites is when they actually get Elijah to come into the show. Because like he comes in, he has his own theme music, and he's just so he's just so I don't give F's about anything. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Um, Now, what I've noticed in the chat so far is that some people are snippy talking against Jax, which okay. But I know there's some people that do like Josh and Dex together. I know quite a few people that like them, and one of them, their name starts with a J. Their name starts with a J. I don't know. I look at Josh and Dex, and I'm like, I don't hate them. I'm cool with them, and in all reality. I think the only reason why I'll sit there and be more for that couple than for Trina and Spencer is that okay, well there's a couple of reasons. All right, I'm about to there we go. I was waiting. Come on now, Jess. I was meant to calling you out. But here's the thing. You I love this too. I actually tell you the truth, Jessica actually just recommended it to me. But here's the thing now. Now Jess says couples sleep together. That is very true. That is very true. I was going to sit there and say it for the live stream, but that is very true. Jess and everyone, I mean, they do sleep together. Listen, if the knock and boot section is good, you're going to sleep together. And I was with this one chick that we practically knock boots every night, like literally every night. So, in this weird defense to people that's they're saying that they knock boots a lot, listen. I mean, granted, for soap purposes, yes, I understand that. For soap purposes, yes, I get that they want them to do more. But just as y'all didn't have in your relationship, then that sucks. Yeah, like I was saying, Jess. There's one woman I was there literally knocking boots every single night. So, but for soap purposes, I can understand how that could be a little bit kind of also, okay, also I'm going to sit there and just kind of play devil's advocate. I don't think that they knock boost every night. Um, I'm like, yo, listen, you two are hot and you can get it in. Get it in. Victoria says, Albert, are you As Josh betraying your Cam, I think that irked you. Yes. Yes, Victoria, actually, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Whenever they bring back Cam, I'm over it. Well, okay. I shouldn't sit there and say I'm over it, but like I'm not mad about it anymore. That's I will sit there and say I'm not mad about it anymore. Yeah, I'm not mad about it anymore. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna sit there and say that Josh forever did treat Cameron like a toilet seat. Okay, that's just that's literally what it is. She treated my boy like it was a toilet seat. Okay, but just saying. Aww, I'm actually out. That sucks. Kind of depressed about that now. Double C's, I'm gonna miss the Flash when it ends next week. I am too, Double C. You know what's really crazy? Here's the thing. Well, it's true. It's true. She treated Cam like a goddamn toilet seat. We're just going to be very honest. We're just going to be very clear about that. But yeah, yeah, that was saying. Or wait, who said that? I'm going to miss it also. I watched it. The first episode that came on, I watched it that day. I watched it that day. So I've watched him grow. Literally, like you go back and you watch old episodes, like the first two seasons. He is so young. He is so young. So yeah, to sit there and say that it's a bit of sadness, it's well, you know, here's the thing though, Double C. He got the at least he got to end his show. And the CW didn't just say she hurt him, yeah, but her and X are better as a couple. How much our attention the ship is getting. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jess. I get that. I do. But I'm not. Here's. Are you kidding me? I understand the shipping and coupling and everything like that. But here's the thing. I'm not a fan. I was, and I'm still not a fan of the way that she treated Spencer. I mean, I'm not a fan of the way she treated Cam because she didn't just treat him like a toilet seat. She was very cold, and her empathy towards his feelings was absolute garbage. Okay, and then she had the audacity to sit there and ask this man for a favor. Hell no. But quick says Albert, if Josh and Dex made and only um I might I might actually do that. I might actually do that. And by might I mean yeah I would. I yeah. Yeah, I kinda would. Uh Polka says every time I watch Jax, Docs and Dex are just been listen, Polka Dots. If you can find if you can find a partner that's actually good that y'all can vibe with, I ain't mad at him. I am not mad at him. I'm being dead ass serious. I am not mad at him. I'm just saying. Uh Gloria's in the chat. What's good, Gloria? Now Johnson says, don't forget Cam is coming back this summer. Yep, the toilet seat is coming back this summer. That's That's pretty much what Johnson said. Johnson just said that the toilet seat is coming back this summer. So that's awesome. Just as I was talking for Dex for sure. But yes, you do realize that you guys sit there and take jobs as a package deal, right? That's that's the thing, Jess. You guys sit there and take the dude as you guys sit there and take her as a package deal. Okay? Can't be sitting there. You can't be sitting there watching it and doing this or this. You can't do that. You gotta sit there and watch the whole thing. They're a package deal, Jess. That's how that works. Oh, you son of a. uh, Curry says there are also a growing amount of vocal other people that can't stand Dax and Joss. Yeah, I get it. Just as okay, Curry's, but they're still a fan base. Yeah, no, that's still a fan base. They're a fan base. Um, Sabrina is a fan base. And I only said that name because, for argument's sake, they're a fan base. I will say this though. I will say this. Sabrina, Dak, or Jax, it's breathing life into the show. And I can't be mad at that. I think that's a really cool thing. Um, Now Polka Dot says Cam and Esme. Interesting. You know, Polka Dots, you're not the first person to actually said that though, too. You're not the first person to actually said that. I mean, as long as you're able to get past the whole leaking the X tape, Spikequake says, name one thing Josh and Dex did other than X. Spikequake, you have to ask somebody else. I'm too tipsy for that answer. Oh, excuse me. Just as people hate Dex and support Sabrina when they do the exact same thing, that's what I'm doing. That's what I don't. Well, Jess, you mean like okay? They're doing the same thing as far as promoting the show, getting new viewers, getting new blood into the show. So cool. They don't do the exact same thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing I would sit there and say, Jess. The reason why I'm more okay with Jess and Doc and Josh is because the dialogue is a lot better. Um, the Their dialogue is worse than Twilight. Their Trina and Spencer's dialogue when they get all super intimate is worse than Twilight. Johnson says now Kate is home. They probably release Kristen from Stateville. Here's the thing. I'm loving the Kristen and Megan scenes. I'm loving those scenes. Those 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 scenes are great. I just there's something about those scenes that just really work. Polka Dot says I love it when we're tipsy. Well, yes, polka dots. I love being tipsy. Um, and I haven't got a hangover yet, so I'm happy about that. Wow, this is going super slow. I'm so glad that Jess answered that question because well, I couldn't. Jess says Spikequake, they have multiple convos with their clothes on. She talks to him about Willow, spends time with Wiley and the kids. Yeah, and that's very true, Jess. They don't just sit there and knock boots. They do talk about other things as well, and they do seem like they have a relationship that's not just surface level. You know, They do have some, even when Josh is Smith, they're talking about Willow and her condition and how um bringing back to that time with Oscar and everything like that. And yeah, some people can sit there and say, "Oh, well, Josh just winds Dex." But people, I do look at it like, um, I do look at it like they do actually have good conversations. And quite, let's just be honest about Spencer and Trina. Only good storyline that they really had was this Ice Princess storyline. Well, no, that's not true. They had a good storyline with the whole Esme thing. They have good storylines. They have good storylines, but you know, it's quite quick. I was at the end say when it comes to a boring talk or interesting talk, I think it's in the be is in the be is in the eye of it's in the eye of the beholder. Because it really does come down to good storylines. I mean, it really does come down to storylines and your interpretation of it. So it's kind of a bit of a trade off. I think what they're doing with Jess and Dex, with Joss and Dex, is interesting. I felt like maybe it might have been like a couple of episodes that might have been flat. People always sit here and knock the fact that they knock books. That's all that they all you gotta be that's all that they do. But let's now sit there and say it like this. A good healthy relationship has to go hand in hand and it has to be more than talk. I'll say that much. Victoria says someone should keep a scoreboard on ins and out of clothes. I think the GH keeps playing it up since it gets mentioned a lot. In and out of clothes. I don't understand. Polka Dot says I think Spencer and Trina has the potential to be a super couple. I do too. I do too. I do too. Now, Kyrie says there's nothing interesting about Josh crying and pitching conversation with Dex. I hate their. Here's the thing, Kyrie. I will give them a negative point on that. I will give them a negative point on that because this whole thing with Josh, her constant whining about Sunny, is stupid. It is just asinine. Whenever they get to that point, my whole thing is whenever they get to that point of the conversation, that's where it turns left. That's where it turns left, and not in a good way. Because at that point, it's just stupid. Because you think about the whole relationship with Josh and Sunny, and it's just dumb. It's just completely and utterly asinine. So yeah, Kyrie, I will give it to you there. Whenever they get back to talking about Sunny and taking down Sunny, it's like, you know, Dex, you would have been dead if it wasn't for Sunny. And Josh, you just need to keep your damn mouth shut. Like, dead serious, you just need to sit there and keep your damn mouth shut. When you talk about everything else except for Sunny, then I actually have interest. I would sit there and say. Latasha says, "Oh, Demetrius is making sense." Yeah, I'm still like, that's crazy. We got another damn Demero just running around. Victoria says Jack's storyline will pick up when Sonny finds out about Jax. Oh, it's damn sure gonna pick up, and it's gonna pick up. Now, Jess says she's renting. That's what people do in a relationship. I don't know if that's supposed to be interesting. Sabrina have couples, couple boring convos. Jess, I will sit there and say this much. Their conversations, it's hard to sit there and rate a boring on their conversations. And when they talk about each other, it the dialogue just gets bad. Whenever they talk about how much feelings they have for each other, it gets bad. And I mean like below Twilight bad. Like the dialogue just gets so awful. It's difficult to sit there and listen to. And that's for a soap opera I expect better. Curry says I hope Sonny shoots Dex right in front of Josh. you know, Kyrie, if this was like an actual like TV show, I can see that happening. I can and no, okay, if this was an actual TV show like on a streaming service, I can totally see that happening. I can totally see that happening. Totally see that happening. My quick says I'm still waiting for someone to tell me one interesting about Josh and Dex. Well, I'm tipsy, so I'm gonna count myself out. But Johnson says there could be other demerits we don't even know about yet. Apparently so, Jonathan. Because I'm like, yo, listen, they just made Demetrius a demerit, and I'm still just like, it's really crazy, Jonathan. I've only been watching the show for like about 3 years now. I would say 3 years now, and the fact that you just kind of threw another demerit out there. But you know what? Here's the thing. It works though. It works because he just happens to be Megan's son. So I'm with it. I'm with that portion. I am so with that portion. Okay. As fun as this was, I think I'm gonna end the live stream right here. There is going to be a day that I keep saying that there's gonna be a day where hopefully I'm gonna be able to do 4 hours, a 4 hour live stream. I'm practically going to be like every other Twitch streamer that does live streams. It's going to be a 4 hour live stream. Now I'm going to do one day when I'm just doing this full time. When I get a chance to do this full time, bet your sweet asses that I'm going to be doing a live stream for 4 hours. So yeah, we'll say that much. But till we get to that point, we will get to that point. Gonna end the live stream right here. I do want to thank everyone for joining though. I'm considering making some other changes with this live stream. Not just there's a couple of things in the work that I do have going on as far as doing these live streams. Some of them may happen later on, and some of them may happen sooner because I just love doing this so much. But I will sit there and let y'all know. Johnson says, join us next time for another edition of Show Chat with our Bostic. Thank you, Jonathan. Like I said, we're at 39 subscribers. I want to get to 44 by the end of this month. So if you're thinking about joining, seriously join. We're going to turn up in these members live streams. We are going to turn the F up. And they're going to be good. They're going to be good. So thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Or you just want to go slow today. Have a good night, Jonathan. Thank you for joining. Kyrie says 4 hours is a long while, but good for you to have goals. No. Kyrie, it's not an easy thing. Trust me, it's not an easy thing. Even doing 2 hours, it's fun, but it's definitely something you got. For me personally, you got to sit there and pace yourself for. But I just I love doing this. I genuinely love doing this. So 2 hours is like whatever, because I just love doing this so much. So, but it is a lot. It is definitely a challenge to sit there and take on, but I am more than up to the challenge. But that's something in the works when I actually am doing this full time. Have a good night, Jess. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Kyrie. Have a good night, Darby. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Spiderquake. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Victoria. Thank you again for joining. It's really good to see you in the chat. And the same thing with you, Spiderquake, because you've been gone for a little bit. So it's actually really good to see you again. Have a good night, Latasha. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Mel. It is always a pleasure and a treat to sit there and see you. So hope I get to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm only going to be going live for an hour because of work super early. But I don't know. We're gonna sit there and try to see about that. But for tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow's only gonna be an hour. But I look forward to seeing. I look forward to talking to everyone tomorrow. So I hope I get to see you tomorrow. Harry says, "Good night, everyone." And Nicholas ain't doing a damn thing to my Ava. Oh, Kyrie, you're awesome. I have not told you that enough. Have a good night, Blackmon. Thank you for joining. I'm almost sad. Have a good night, Miss Gee. Thank you for joining. Mel, have a good night, Nikisha. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Deja Flower. Thank you for joining. Um, I'm missing so many people. Have a good night, XX. Have a good night, Polka Dots. Thank you for joining. It was so great to sit there and see. Follow Polka Dots on Instagram. Like just type in the word Polka Dots, and you will not regret it. She's good, people. And not just that, but she also actually has legit good music. Carrie says, "I'll see you on Saturday. Members live stream only. I'm busy the rest of the week." And good night, everyone. And good night, Melanie. All right, Kyrie. I definitely look forward to seeing you in the member stream. We're gonna cook it up tonight. We're gonna cook it up in the we're gonna cook it up in the members live stream. Spike Rick says, "What do you think should happen to Molly's character?" Um, I think she should be recast. Listen, here's the thing. I'm all for working hard and doing the work and being a better person. I'm all for that. But here's the thing, Spider Quick. The way she was acting with the EMTs, the way she was acting with the staff of the hospital, this is something that she's been accustomed to doing. This is my issue. She's been accustomed to doing that for a long time. So I hope that she does the work. She does get better. If not for herself, but for the other people that's on the road. But that type of behavior and that level, that blind faith that people have in her for her character is the problem. And it's the reason why she got to this point in the first place. It's the reason why she decided to go out there and get a DUI. And most people's DUIs, this isn't the first time that they've done that. This is just the first time that she got caught. And that's what pisses me off the most. And the fact that people are just like, well, she's young. I don't think she should lose her job. This is just a mistake. Pisses me the F off. It does. That's just that's just fact. But yes, before I do go, 39 members in the member stream. If you are thinking about joining, definitely do it. Here's the thing. This doesn't just help me out, but I want you in the live stream because I want to sit there and really get to know you. You know, I would, and I'm gonna say this now. I would much rather sit there and have people join the live stream that I feel like it's going to benefit us both than do things like sell mugs and sell shirts and things of that nature. Sell overpriced mugs and shirts. It doesn't really seem like that doesn't really like it doesn't really benefit everyone. It just feel like it benefits me. But I feel like if you join, that's something that's works for both of us. You know, I get to know you on a much smaller scale. We have a great time, and we're a lot more loose, a lot more comfortable, and you know, just I get to know you more. So, like Rick says, this is also okay. Why is okay? Like Rick says, I wouldn't be surprised if she started smoking in the middle. If she started smoking in the middle of high school. I would be, I don't. I know this much by the way. When it comes towards Hollywood and success, it gets to some people. It gets to them. It gets to their head, and they kind of forget about their humble beginnings, and it's unfortunate. And the fact that I mean, granted, I understand that she was drunk, but here's the thing, though: even when you're drunk, for the most part, you are still you. Okay, so we're not even going to sit and use the fact that she was drunk and belligerent, that was her excuse for going off on the EMTs that was trying to save her. That was an excuse for her going off on the hospital staff because that was just her. What some people don't understand is when they're drunk and they're inebriated, is that it doesn't change your personality. It just brings it out more to the light. So anyway, Spikequake says, did they say how drunk she was? They said she was slurring her words. They said she was slurring her words, and the fact that she was going off on people that was saving her, talking about how she has a $400 shirt. It's a you know what I'm saying. Like at that point, it kind of tells us just how drunk she was. It really does. Hmm. Anyway, I'm gonna go. But Spikequake, join me tomorrow. Everyone, join me tomorrow. This has been a lot of fun. I hope I get to see everyone in the members live stream only because we're gonna turn up. We're gonna turn up. Share the video if you can. That really does help. Hit the like on the video. That also does help. And hit the join button. That really does help as well. We're not done with the end of the month, so if you know you can get the 44, that'll be a really great thing. I normally don't sit there and do goals and stuff like that, but here's the thing. I have so much faith in my subscribers and the members and stuff like that that I feel like we can do it. You know, like Quick says, she really cared about a shirt more than her life. Um, yeah, that's exactly the level of entitlement that she had. She was more worried about her shirt being torn than she was about her own life and people doing their job and respecting them. The same. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Stay safe. And I definitely look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the next live stream. Laters.